it.
Are we recording? Matter of fact, we not recording. We not recording. And that's why we are the best boys podcast you never heard. You know what I'm saying? Guess
There we
what?
go.
We gonna redo it again because guess
Put it
what?
back.
When the MCs came to live out the name and to perform, some had the snort cocaine, the act the same, and the armpit. So we gonna have fun with the mental plane, the sport, the brain, and the empty to the fuck. Not really flip the trip. Chicken what the chicken ass. Chicken ass. Yo, man, shout yo, dog.
The genius. Hey, they cut off the head of 131 Lord. That intro was crazy.
Dog,
They was coming to kill my father, but they didn't.
But they didn't. Corey, listen, man. Yo, you know what? That might be one of the top 10 best intros in the game, dog, for real. That Liquid Swords intro was dark and set the tone for a classic album, dog. Dog. I mean,
to kill my father, but they didn't.
But they didn't.
Hey, they wasn't scared of the Shogun, but the Shogun was scared of him.
Dog.
I'm gonna fall back.
Yo, for real, like that man. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. And then the very next one was choose the sword. You know what I mean?
But you must choose.
But you must choose.
You may not know why, but you must choose.
Man, what?
On God, man, you talking about Wu-Tang style,
dog? What a well sequenced, just top to bottom album in Liquid Swords.
I would like to say something in regards to the Wu-Tang Clan, especially their first run of solo albums.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, that's a hell of a run, Big V. Like
For sure.
I would put Wu-Tang's first run of solo albums up against that of Death Row, of Bad Boy. Like I'm telling you, dog. Like that first wave. Now I ain't gonna hold you. Tikal, due to the expectations, was a bit underwhelming. So I'll give you the Tikal album, but dog, all the other first runs. I'm gonna shut up. I can talk about this all day, Big V.
And you know what? Method made up for the Tikal on that second Tikal. That Tikal 2000. Yo, with that switch with Sweet Love and all that on there.
Yes, sir.
Dog,
yes, sir.
Classic, yo.
You right.
Classic.
You right on that.
He made up for it on that Tikal 2000.
Yeah, he did. And
you know
not to say nothing bad about Tikal. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying for the hype.
Right.
It was still good now. Don't get me wrong. But and look, I ain't gonna not call it a classic. I ain't gonna be disrespectful now. I ain't gonna be that. But it was just, I was just kind of like, you think of really highly anticipated albums like Snoop, 50 Cent.
It was up there.
Now should have been up there with it because everyone was waiting on Method Man at the end of the 36 Chambers.
Everybody was waiting on him. It was the voice. It was his style. The ladies loved him. It was
everything.
It was supposed to be his Cuban links for sure.
You can argue that. That's a fair argument, Big Vito.
You know what I mean? Yo, like I was telling y'all last pod, man. My anniversary came up. Wifey had a whole thing planned. I did not know where I was going. I just know I need to be home by 5 o'clock. I get to the airport. She says, "Yo, we going to Miami." Was in Miami, Corey, for 4 or 5 days, man. It felt so good, man. Felt real great, man.
I gotta hit y'all with that. I got to hit you and the lovely Miss Michelle with the air horns. Hold on for a second. The 10-year anniversary down in Miami. Gotta get that one out the way, Big Vito.
Yeah, man. It was nice, bro. It was nice. Got ready to come home on Sunday, and I'm in the airport and checking out the score of the Colts and the Chiefs. Well, let me start from the beginning. I text mom early in the morning. Mom, I love you, but we enemies today. I don't want to hear from you. We enemies early. I'm talking early. I'm in the game early. Get to the airport. We up. I'm chilling. You know what I mean? Glad. You know what I mean? Text moms. Yo, we getting ready to get on. We boarding now. We up. We boarding. I'm gonna hit you when we land. I want to have 2-hour flight easy. We land. Get the phone off airplane mode. Mom's got her lady in a dress dancing emoji.
Oh no.
And I don't know what's happening right now.
Oh
I know when I took off from Miami to come to Charlotte, we were up 20-9.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Zone Sports Podcast, if you don't know, the Colts lost. We lost. By the time I got off the damn plane, the game was over, just like Corey called it. And you know what? Real quick, shout out to you for calling it spot on last podcast. You literally came on this podcast and said you got the Colts by a field goal.
Yeah.
Damn it, they won in overtime by kicking a field goal. Yo, listen, Corey. First and foremost, I was pissed getting off that plane. I was pissed. I was pissed off, Corey. Cause I expected us to win. We up 29. I can't see the game. I'm looking at the stats. Yo, just know we have it in the bag. Corey, I get off the plane and check the stats. Mahomes throws for almost 400 yards on us in the second half alone, damn near. I don't know what happened to Indiana Jones in the second half. I guess he might have went inside the Temple of Doom and never came out. Showing my age there. If you're 40 and older, you got the Temple of Doom Indiana Jones reference. Maybe you did, I don't know, but it was funny to me. Ah. But what wasn't funny was us losing this game, Corey, in OT. We had the dog. And I go back and I look at, when I got settled, I go back and I look at the highlights. It just looked like questionable play calling to me. Um, Let me give some credit though, because they did the whole they kept our running game in check. Jonathan Taylor, he
Yeah.
didn't really break out how he normally would. Indiana Jones had a great first half. Second half, not so much, man.
Yeah.
And again, like I told my mother, because she texted me back, she said, I think y'all gonna get us. We got a couple guys out. I said, you know who you don't have out? Patrick Mahomes. He could be over there with 10 other senior citizens and get this
Yeah.
job done because he's Patrick Mahomes. Yo, I still cannot believe that we lost the game. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, let me get the score up for you too, because I have it here. We lost the game, end up losing the game 23-20 in overtime. Daniel Jones had almost 200 yards in the first half, 80 something in the second, which is okay, but not the way that we play. Not the way that we play, man. I think that we should have, when we was up, we kind of should have stuck to what we were sticking to in the first half. Kind of got away with that. Got away from that. Again, I know that the running game wasn't there, but I still think we should have just kind of still pounded it, paused a little bit more than what we did, especially when we saw Daniel Jones struggling, and or maybe just should have maybe kept it maybe with intermediate passes. I don't know. But I really don't have nothing bad to say other than questionable play calling. I still think we're one of the better teams in the NFL. I still think our defense is stellar no matter what. I still think that if we see these guys again, we got a chance to beat them. No excuses from me. We lost to the Chiefs. That's it.
Well, I am a fan of the San Francisco 49ers out of Santa Clara. And if it's any organization that's pretty much accustomed to getting their asses whooped by the Kansas City Chiefs, it's your San Francisco 49ers. And not to make this too much about me, Big V, but
Yeah.
I've seen this movie before. And they don't hit you. It's not a Mike Tyson rough
Nah,
that
it's
he
not. No.
it will Floyd Mayweather and jab you to death. And this is exactly reminiscent of the Super Bowls and other games that we've lost. We have not beat Kansas City since Patrick Mahomes started in the NFL. And these results are just like this. You get baited in where, we could beat these guys
Yeah.
because Kansas City can be beat. They can be beat,
Yep.
but only when they want to get beat. And that's exactly, this was so reminiscent of the Super Bowl. This was so, and how they done other teams. Big V, I want to, I can't remember how many times it was last year where Kansas City only won by a field goal, by 3 point. It been like a record, like 8 or 9 times. And almost every game, even the games that they lost this season, they've been in every last one of them, man. They just came up short. And the thing is, man, you going into halftime thinking like you're not overly cocky because my wife said something, or she asked a question asking, is the dynasty for Kansas City over? And I said, no, no, it ain't over. Nah, I said, and this was around halftime, right? I watched that whole game. It was on regular TV. It won't even part of Sunday Ticket. And I sat and I watched the whole game because I wanted to make sure that we had something to talk about when we came back this week, Big V. And she said, "Is the dynasty over?" And I said, "Honey, it's not over. They was just in the Super Bowl last year." And
Right.
she's like, "Yeah, but they lost." I said, "No, no, no. Check out what I'm saying. They weren't supposed to be there to begin with.
Good point.
Unlike other sports, making the Super Bowl in the NFL is a small victory. Now, you don't hang your hat up on it. You don't sit there and poke your chest out. Kansas City was not supposed to be in the Super Bowl last year. They was not. And I told my wife, I said, honey, this team is 5-5 at the time. And I said, right now, they're not even favored to make the playoffs, but still favored to make the Super Bowl. Now, if you can explain to me how that makes sense, you let me know because there's only two reasons why it remotely makes sense. Andy Reid and Project Pat Mahomes. This is how they get you, big. You come into halftime, man. All right, you do good. All right, that third quarter. Oh man, we still up in there. Kansas City scored 11 points in the fourth quarter.
They kicked 5 field goals, Corey.
5 field goals, Big Vito. That's the annoying part. It's like that slippery bar of soap. You get it and it slips out. You grab it again and it slips out. Pause, pause, and hell no, no more pausing, Big V. This is the annoyance
Yes.
of trying to beat Kansas City.
Yes. I
We've
agree.
seen this movie before. And hey, and would it surprise me if they make the Super Bowl again this year? Would it surprise me?
No.
No. No. Would it surprise me if they meet up in Denver in the AFC Championship game and win? No. Because this is what they do. They win ugly, but they know how to win. And it's annoying to watch. But we've seen this movie before, Big Vito.
I'm hoping we don't see it again. I hope the next time that this movie is
Respect.
on, it is a different ending.
Yeah.
Different ending.
They good though, man.
They are good. But speaking of movie, Corey, while I was in Miami, I had some time to relax. Um, had some time to catch up on some shows and some things that I wanted to watch. I woke up, I want to say it was Friday morning because Thursday we got up. Um, no, no, it was I think maybe Saturday morning. Either way, I woke up early, watched the sun come up. I said, you know what? While I'm up, let me put on this Allen Iverson doc on Prime
Mm.
Video that I've been wanting to watch, Corey. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it or not, but
I haven't. It is on my watch list. I just have not hit the play button yet, Vito.
do me a favor, Corey, and watch it while you have some time off this weekend. It is awesome to the umpteenth degree. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have Prime, please go and watch it. If you are an Allen Iverson fan, Corey, this thing is covered from the beginning of his career, and I mean from a little boy up and on till he retires. And when I tell you that this doc is done how it needs to be done, and by the way, Steph Curry and Shaquille O'Neal are executive producers
Mm.
of this.
Okay. I love basketball people are involved in this.
Yeah, listen, this is Iverson uncut. This is his dad uncut, his mother uncut. They are going through all the trials and tribulation of Iverson's life, Corey. Um, I don't think I remember, let alone, I don't even think I knew that he got locked up in high school,
Oh yeah.
basically, and had
Oh
to
yeah.
do some time before he went to Georgetown. I
Yeah.
wasn't familiar with that whole situation. I didn't know. That shedded some light on some things for me. I appreciated them being very honest and very transparent about that. They had footage from him being in there, interviews with Tom Brokaw when he was in there. I don't remember seeing any of this.
Yeah.
There was talking that was showed him when he was a football player.
Yeah.
They showed that he hated basketball and didn't want to play. Corey,
Yeah.
he thought basketball was soft because of his love for football. His
Yeah.
mom's is the one that would drag him out of bed and make him go to practice. And
Mm.
now that we have Iverson, the guy. You know what I'm saying? But man, that doc is so well put together, Corey, from top to bottom. Talks about his time at Georgetown, footage with John Thompson. They even showed when how he actually got accepted into Georgetown, and the strings and the conversation the strings that had to be pulled, and the conversation that his mom had to have with John Thompson for him to take him in. They were showing fans who were in the crowd when he would be at Georgetown his freshman year chanting jailbird while he was on the court,
Wow.
Corey.
Wow.
Like it was things that I discovered that I didn't even recognize that was so just insane in the Iverson story. We all know him for the cool commercial with Kiss back in the day. They get
Yeah.
they we know him for the Braves and the Tats, man. A lot of people don't know about him losing one of his right hand man that was along with him for the ride who was murdered at a bar. A lot of people don't know just the real intricate story of Allen Iverson, man. And it is so intriguing and made me have just so much more respect from him from his trials and tribulations, how he fought through them, and how his reason for going with Reebok over Nike. It was it's just a lot, man. I love.
Mm.
Please check it out, man, when you get time, man.
I'm gonna
Man,
definitely have to check it out because I felt like I definitely seen an Allen Iverson documentary before, and it may have been on Showtime. This was years ago. I don't
yeah,
quote me on Showtime, but it was definitely like a 2.5 hour one, and it was really good. So I know a lot of it,
yeah,
but I'm a documentary nerd.
yeah.
So
Me
even
too.
if one company did it before, I like to see how the other company did it before
Me
because I'm
too.
willing to bet you dimes to donuts that Steph Curry and Shaq didn't have anything to do with the first documentary. So I would love to see this one. If I'm not mistaken, this one is broken down in episodes, right? Like this isn't like
It's a 3-part doc.
yeah, yeah. So I like that because the only thing with and assuming that it's Showtime, somebody hit me in the comments below. The only thing about Showtime was that, and first of all, Showtime, Paramount, they do great
They do
documentaries.
great docs,
They do.
smoking
So
doc.
I'm not shitting on them at all. But it was, I want to say it was roughly like a little bit over two hours long. So it was good, but you could tell that there was still some things that was cut out. And I just love when it's like in part one, part two, or episodic format where it's like, oh,
Yes,
you can get a whole lot more. So I
yeah.
definitely need to check that out.
Man, please do. They left no stone unturned on this doc. I mean, they get into it all, man. They get into it all. I mean, all of it, and it's so well put together. You know what I mean? Let's still keep it on the NBA because we have some celebrating to do. At least I do. I have some celebrating to do. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take it back to Saturday night, November 15th at 5:37 p.m. And I know y'all are like, what is so significant about that date and time? I'm so glad y'all asked, Sky Zoners of the Zone Sports Podcast. Um, that is the night that I text Corey some fabulous news. Some really, really fabulous news that I felt like he didn't know and he was not aware of that came across my desk. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some celebrate. Matter of fact, I want I call Corey the human air horn for us. I'm gonna take the time out and do the air horns for this situation right here. Let me get into it real quick. Pew, 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 pew. You know what I mean? Real quick. Matter of fact, one more time for my guy. Pew, 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 pew. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Russell Westbrook. Yes, that's right. Russell Westbrook is the second player in NBA history with 25,000 points and 10,000 assists. Yes, did you hear that? I want to repeat that for the Russell Westbrook haters in the back, along with my guy Corey here. 25,000 points, 10 assists, second player in NBA history. One more time for the air horns. Pew, 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 pew. Yes, yes, yes. That was some fabulous news that came across my desk that my guy, you know what I mean, Russell Westbrook, one of the greatest players in the history of the NBA, you know what I mean, clearly, to be the second player in NBA history. You know what I mean? First of all, we're talking about something that's been around for what, 75 years now? And he is only the second player in NBA history with 25,000 points and 10 assists. Corey, when I think about 10,000 assists, I think about the likes of John Stockton and people of that caliber who really knew how to dish the rock. You know what I mean?
Great men, absolutely great men.
Just like Russell Westbrook, great. I'm glad you could agree. Thank you so much for chiming in, Corey. Yes, so you understand what you know when I think about 10,000 assists. I think I get visions of Magic Johnson, Corey. When I think 10,000 assists, look at him, look at him. Look at him. I get chills up my spine, Corey. When you start talking 25,000 points, Corey, and 10,000 assists, and to be the second player in NBA history, Russell Westbrook, to accomplish this, yo, Russell, us over at the Zone Sports Podcast, at least half of us appreciate your services and know what you have brought to the game, Russell. Thank you. Continue to be great, and we will continue to highlight your accomplishments and your feats over here on the Zone Sports Podcast. Hmm.
Whoop de doo, goddamn do. You know, Big V, this is the season of Thanksgiving. And I really felt like with so much more that was happening in the sports world
No, this need to be highlighted. No, 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 no. This needs to be
and all the
highlighted.
great achievements that you, your beautiful wife, and your family has had going down to Miami and all this stuff. Big V, this happened. I mean, what, a week or two. Like, I'm not sure why we're talking about this. I felt like, and first of all, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let everyone know,
Yeah.
Big Vito show featuring me. So I'm not. I would never tell this wonderful human being what to talk about on the show. I ride shotgun. He's Jordan. I'm Pippen. I told y'all that 3,000 times. However, um, I felt like Big V is just doing this just to basically piss me off. Okay, because the thing is, first of all, you can't sign up to his newsletter without subscribing. That's number one. Um, Big V likes these types of players, these triple dub, win these double stack players. That's really his only claim to
Yeah.
fame. You know, Big V, I could argue that those assists, some of them may have been goosed. Maybe, maybe not. I don't. We won't never know. You know, I know at OKC. You know, he had some people down there clearing that paint for him to get some rebounds and a trip dub stat from Wendy's. I like triple and double stacks, by the way. Whatever the score was of the total points that he had, one can argue if he was a better shooter, he probably would have had those numbers 5 years ago instead of running up and down the court like Mighty Mouse. One can argue that. We can argue that. But you know what? Congratulations, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's all you got to say. Congrats to the second player in NBA history with 25,000 points and 10 assists, Corey. I just want to remind people about the 3 straight years he averaged a triple double. I
Oh
just want
my
to remind,
God.
I just want to go down some of his greatness. Him helping lead the Thunder to almost a chip that time. I just want to highlight. This is the reflection of everywhere he goes. He produces. I just want to highlight that, and I want to highlight him being a great player on the Kings this year too. Russell Westbrook, salute my guy. Keep the fight going up here,
He's
man.
a great producer of turnovers. I'll definitely give him that.
Oh my
The
God.
king of turnovers. I'll give you that one.
Oh my God, man. Corey, we got to keep it NBA because we got to get into some beef though. We got to get into some beef, Corey. You know what I mean? Some beef, Lord. Man, listen, man. You know, Clay Thompson has been getting some disrespect lately, Corey. A lot of it has came at the expense of him, dating Meg the Stallion now. People just want to take cheap shots. Hey, Clay.
Taking my hat off for that one. Okay. Real quick before you go, Big V. My wife and I saw Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla in concert.
I heard it was a good show. I heard it was a good show, Corey.
It is a great show. Easy on the eyes, by the way. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm a happily married man, so we're gonna leave that one alone. But seriously, Megan is super talented
Yeah.
and she looks great doing it. So does Big Glow, not the little one. I ain't saying no more, just in case my wife sees this right here. I ain't saying no more.
Yeah, Glow, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hey, we just got to salute. That's all.
That's it.
We salute, you know what I mean? That's it. But, people have just been taking just, in my opinion, just some cheap shots at him just because it looked like hate to me, Corey. And this situation to me is no different. Ladies and gentlemen, a couple nights ago, Ja Morant and Clay Thompson had a little spat, you know what I mean? Um, the thing was, Ja was on the bench, and when I say he was on the bench, I don't mean with his jersey on. He was sidelined on the IR list. Let's just say that. Clay was in the game, and a timeout was called. Ja comes off the bench, and all you see is Ja doing a lot of finger pointing in Clay's face, a lot of laughing and things like that, and you know, post game, I see some stuff that Clay said. Clay said it was he downplayed it. He wasn't really talking about nothing, but he said that the story of his career is talking shit on the bench. Mm. And if I'm Ja Morant and I hear that, yeah, I shrug that off. But if I'm a fan like I am of Ja Morant, it kind of stung a little bit. It just kind of stung a little bit those words because I said a few weeks before that I see Ja Morant dad talking shit to Kevin Durant, sideline at the game, and they start having a spat. And y'all know, man, y'all know I love Ja. I buy the sneakers and all that. But Corey, in my opinion, I don't think that this is the time to be poking fun or talking shit to, frankly, anybody who's actually available to play. Because, you know, Ja, last season, you weren't available to play really. And season before that, we all know what happened with you in the strip club and the pistol and all and the little boy situation that you supposedly punched over a game. But I don't know, but you weren't available to play. And you know, I know that y'all had that one year that y'all did put the Warriors out of I think it was the NBA Cup or maybe the first round of the playoffs. I do remember that happening, but I do remember the last time that y'all met up, they put y'all out. Again, I don't think that this is the time for you to be kind of doing anything but maybe trying to get better and maybe helping your team or figure out your situation. Because your situation ain't looking too good out there in Memphis. And I love this is coming from me. I love you. I just want you to get back to talking shit and playing ball on the court, not talking shit on the sideline in street clothes. I don't want to see my guy who I love. Y'all know I love Ja Morant. Y'all know how I feel about Ja Morant. I don't want to see my guy who I know has that first, second season Derrick Rose type of got that kind of grit Kobe had if he could just find a way, that explosiveness where he don't care who under the basket, he gonna dunk. I want that. I need to see that out of you. The organization, they probably would love for you to get back that too. Again, I don't know what's going on with you and the coach. I'm not there. I'm not Stephen A. I don't have any insight. I don't know, dog. I just know this ain't the look I want out of my guy, Ja Morant. I don't want him to be on the news for making fun of Clay Thompson. No matter how you feel about Clay, Clay is proven already. Clay is one of the best shooters this game has ever seen in my fucking life. He don't have to prove that. Clay could retire right now, and he's top 10 shooters of all time. Of all time. Ja, I love you, but I don't think you top 10 anything right now. You just not. Clay got some hardware. He got minus the hardware, he would still go down as one of the greatest shooters we've ever seen. He don't have to prove nothing. Now you got a lot to prove, bro. I love you, man, and I just don't think that this is the time to be poking fun at a 3-4 time NBA champion, and you know
So
what I mean? Like, and I'm talking about not riding the bench NBA champion, contributing NBA champion each time. What are your thoughts on this, Corey?
when I saw this, man, my jaw hit the floor.
Yeah,
Like, of all people, right? Because we don't really know what caused it, right? There's speculations that it happened in 2022
yeah,
when he was with the when Clay was with the Warriors and got eliminated. But you're talking about Morant allegedly pointing his finger and calling Clay Thompson a bum.
yeah,
Bum. And these aren't fans talking. These are your counterparts, right? And I'm like, well, when was Clay Thompson a bum? Right? Like, I'm trying to figure that out because basically, he's teasing and basically saying, oh, well, you won't, who the best shooter in the house was, talking about, when he was with Golden State, when Clay was with Golden State.
and
Look,
some would argue that.
some will argue, and let's give a little bit of a history lesson here first. And we love Steph Curry. I know he was technically born in Akron, but raised down here in North Carolina and stuff like that. You got to remember, man, you could argue like at least the first half of that championship run, at least the first two, Steph Curry really didn't show up in the finals like that, bro. Remember when it was Andre Iguodala who was named the finals MVP?
Good point.
Not so let's take it easy on that part. Like, you could argue that especially that first championship, you could argue that was more Draymond Green, Clay Thompson, David West, Iguodala. Like, you could argue that. That's argument, but I'm not here to debate Clay Thompson and Steph Curry. What I am here to debate is this guy who TLC describes as a scrub. Okay, a scrub is a guy who thinks he's fly, but also known as a buster, Big V. That's what TLC told me. Now, I might be wrong. I might be right. I ain't going to sit here and call up names. But you should dream to have the career that Clay Thompson has had. You should dream that you coming off an ACL injury, and I can't remember what the other one was, right?
Yeah.
Cats ain't even think Clay Thompson was going to play again. Is he the Clay Thompson of past? No, he's not. But, man, to sit up here and to disrespect that guy and call him a bum. Now, hold on. When I look at stuff like this, I always judge off who were you and what was you at your best. That could be if you were real estate worker. That could be if you're an entertainer, i.e., hip hop artist. You can shit on 50 Cent all you want. Well, all he got is Get Rich and Die Trying. Album sold 12 million records, bro.
And
Don't
if you know he got more than that. If you know, you know what I mean?
thank you. Like let's not. That's right. The bootlegging was heavy. Let's not go there. Right. What was you at your best? That's what you judged off of. And when Clay Thompson was at his best, this dude was scoring 60 points in one game before the fourth quarter. You understand me? Let's listen, John. Certain things I'm riding with you for on certain things. Not on this one, dog. You need to stay focused on staying out of damn shotgun willies and waving guns in the air like you Onyx. Let's cool that out because you really only fucking with Clay Thompson because you know he's a mild mannered guy. You're not gonna do that to Draymond Green, who I also consider a bit of a bully as well. But let's keep it funky. You're not gonna do that with Dylan Brooks. You're not gonna call the Morris twins bums, are you? No, I thought not. Because you get your face flown in. That's what will happen. So, John, you are a talent. I will pay good money to see you, but let's focus on you for a second. You're out with your calf injury. Things happen, bro. I would never knock an injury. I'm 44 years old. I could probably get an injury walking down the steps. I ain't about to sit up here and throw darts at that. But you need to focus on evolving your game because, dude, when you was on the court, minutes cut or not, these past couple of years, you don't really have that same explosive attack at the rim like you once had. So, being that that's the case, you might need to learn how to evolve your game. Maybe get a mid-range going on. Maybe work on your threes. Or, like Big V's idol hero, Russell Westbrook, work on your assist game. Let's work on that. Let's do some other things that make you important because you're too good to be acting like this, bro. And I would say that someone needs to talk to him, but I'm quite sure it would just go in one ear and out the other.
Hey. Salute the job, man. Come on, come back. Be that guy that I love, man. Come on, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody who be tuning in each and every week because we love y'all, you know what I mean? Happy Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying? Yo, appreciate y'all, man, for catching the clips, watching the whole video, whatever you doing, man, keep the support coming. We hope y'all staying safe if you're traveling, you know what I mean? If you're not, you know what I mean? Happy Thanksgiving, man, and we wish
Happy
y'all
Turkey
many
Day,
more
everybody.
days. You know what I mean? Corey, you already know, man. I appreciate you. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. You know what I
Same to
mean?
you, my brother.
And y'all know how we end this joint. Peace.
Hey. No more Russell Westbrook. No more.
Stop it.